So after the Bob the Goon theory for Mayhem Mode, it made me remember Harley Quinn would be involved again, like it reminded me. And I thought since this whole game is based on Arkham Asylum, I thought maybe see what if Arkham elements would be in Mayhem Mode. And so I'm looking back at Arkham Asylum, and then there's the story of Harley Quinn in the Arkham Asylum games universe. And it's, quote, an Arkham Asylum psychiatrist assigned to treat the Joker, Dr. Harley Quinn instead became obsessively fixated on her patient, believing herself to be in love with him. She helped him escape confinement and took on her own criminal identity as Harley Quinn. Quinn is a violent and unpredictable felon whose only motivation, and beyond general mayhem, is achieving the Joker's approval. Because of its cruel and mercurial nature, this in some ways makes her just another of its victims, albeit a very dangerous one. Yeah, so because of that, again, emphasis on the mayhem cards. So I think maybe since it's Mayhem Mode and it's Arkham inspired, maybe we might see more of an Arkham Asylum games, Rocksteady games inspired Harley Quinn. Along with other versions of Harley Quinn, there are various differences, and honestly, since a lot of the characters had like 10 costumes, and Batman had 100, I wonder if Joker would have like 100 and Harley would get 10. Anyway, I mentioned the costumes I wanted, but also at the same time, it's possible that they could get their own like packs similar to what we had with the Foot 7, but for the characters from Mayhem Mode. That's honestly like a good suggestion. For example, the Batman Beyond thing. And not to mention the Batman Beyond Joker was in LEGO Batman 3 as part of the Batman Beyond level pack in that. Along with the fact that, because just like in LEGO Batman 3, the Joker had its own like sonar suits and its demolition suits, and since the game had suits for the characters, not like the actual suits to defeat puzzles, but more or less suits to like from different versions. Like maybe we could get like pad stuff. I know I talked about costumes for Joker and Harley, but looking back, like we could also get other stuff. For example, in the Batcave, the Arkham trophy with him with the TV head, which gives me Seen It Music Edition vibes. You know, it has him in the trailers they showed. It's like the Jack Nicholson thing we've been getting in the game. However, at the same time, in the final game, it's actually a minifigure version of his suit from the Arkham games, which was really cool. In fact, this whole game was just Arkham-based. In fact, I honestly think, I might have mentioned this before, but I honestly think the reason why we had like 7 playable characters was because this was heavily Arkham-influenced. And I feel like the next time we get a LEGO game from Traveler's Tales, it's going to be a lot more regular, like a regular LEGO game. I honestly hope that is the case, because I don't want the LEGO games to change forever like this. Anyway, pretty much looking back, honestly, we could get more. Like, I have a theory that the villain base, because we all told that we're going to get a villain base through in the notification trophy thing someone found out from that leak. It's a circus tent, so maybe it's possible that the villain base would be the fairgrounds from LEGO Batman the video game, like where you have like the Harley Quinn boss fight at. And that would make sense since the game involves causing mayhem, so maybe we might capture Commissioner Gordon or something. And I honestly hope that, just like LEGO Batman the video game, the Joker and Harley will team up with other villains too, like Killer Moth. And if that's the case, I hope Killer Moth gets a lot more better treatment. Like, what the heck was that? Honestly, another character we can meet, because I know in Mayhem Mode I mentioned Bob the Goon could come up, and then we had this idea of, oh, team up with the other villains, but also another character they could bring in, it's Captain Clown, because the last time we had a LEGO Batman game, it was LEGO DC Supervillains, and there was the Batman Mask of the Phantasm DLC, which is really strange because when that came out, like, I was told that it was, like, Batman the Animated Series DLC, and then when it came out, like, that's what it was when it first announced, and then when it came out, it was all Mask of the Phantasm, and I don't have a problem with that. I just find it really strange because they kept promoting it as the show, not the movie, but still, in that, if you go to House of the Future, which is where you stalled, well, at least that's what it says on the wall. It's the thing with the robot where the Joker possibly murks Salvatore Valestra. In the game, there you can find Captain Clown. He shows up as a cool-looking Big Fig, and in that, he starts to fight, just like a miniature fight, but defeating him opens the Train Thane Joker and Sal rode in, and it takes it to, like, the giant fan from the movie. If you've seen the movie, you might know what I'm talking about, but in that, there's Captain Clown, and he could show up. I'm trying to figure out another villain or another Batman character that could appear in Mayhem Mode. Oh, the Yeti from Lego Batman the video game, going back to the first game. Because if you don't know, if you've seen, like, the Icebook video or others, you might remember there was that Yeti. And honestly, allegedly, he's on, like, a box at the ice cream factory. So maybe, but if he is meant to be, like, a villain, then maybe he could show up. And, actually, it might make sense since Killer Quawk's in this now. Another character we could see is, I know a lot of people want to see the Scarecrow show up, and I honestly have a cool theory with him in Arkham Asylum. But another villain I would like to see is Two-Face, because if you look at the game, they don't do anything to him. After he falls, he just lands, and that's it. Nobody comes to get him. He's never referenced again in the actual game's main story. So, like, what happens to him? Because in the actual Batman Forever movie, in that scene, he actually escaped by going underneath the black dot in the center of the floor, which is coincidentally where he lands. And it's a trapdoor, and he goes under, and then he comes back later in the movie. And honestly, I feel like if they didn't do that, and honestly, I don't like how they had Dick Grayson take out his parents like that, and they didn't even take him down. Like, they just fall into a hot dog cart. So honestly, maybe more of Two-Face could come up. And another character I want to see the most is the Penguin, because honestly, I honestly don't think we got enough of him, because looking back, all he did was show up as a right-hand mafia person, and then later he immediately runs for mayor, so maybe we could see more of him, like what he's up to. Not to mention the fact that in the Penguin fight, when you beat him, he will mention my Icebook Lounge, so at some point, I guess he took ownership of it. So honestly, I'd like to know what else is with the Penguin in this universe. Yeah, so pretty much that, with all that aside, my theory for Mayhem Mode in this video is that maybe Harley Quinn will also be getting more Arkham Asylum Rocksteady games inspired Harley, along with other Harley Quinn versions, mostly animated series, Batman the Animated Series from 1993, and the Harley Quinn in this universe. In fact, looking back, it's actually perfect because, you know, this character, it's Batman the Animated Series in the trailers. This game is inspired by the Rocksteady Arkham Asylum games, and those feature her with a prominent role, so it's pretty obvious that maybe we'll get more Arkham-inspired Harley, like maybe Laura. But then again, the Laura in that game shares the one in the Mad Love episode of the new Batman Adventures, which is a sequel show, part of the continuity of Batman the Animated Series. It's not the third season. I know a lot of people would say it's the third season, but no, Batman the Animated Series had no third season, only 2. And while on the subject of Batman the Animated Series, a lot of the show, along with other stuff from its continuity, like the New Adventures or Batman Beyond, all already in the game. For example, when you chase the mimes, there's the Duquesne parking lot. As in Duquesne, as in Kathy and Cole Duquesne from Batman Mystery of the Batwoman, which is also part of that continuity. And then you have on the billboard, one of the billboards is the Phantasm, as in Phantasm of the Opera, with the Phantasm himself on there, being Batman, Mask of the Phantasm. And then there's the roller coaster. It's named after Phantasm. And then, of course, initially, Harley Quinn. So far, it's been shown to have a costume based on the Batman the Animated Series sets, which so far we've only had two, the Skyline set, which I have, and the Batmobile set, which I don't have. If I were to get, I think the Batmobile in that is cool, but honestly, the reason I don't want it is because, other than Mr. Freeze and the Batmobile, it has the same exact stuff from the Skyline set. But still, the Batmobile in that, it's recreated in this. The Skyline set, it's in it. I think I might have said that, but no, I didn't. Harley Quinn costume. But there's also Detective Harvey Bullock. His design throughout the game, it's the same as the show, except they gave him a mustache. I'm pretty sure that mustache is from that new Cape Crusader show. Well, I mean, it's not new, but, like, the second season came out or just ended. And then there's Renee Montoya, who I'm pretty sure is just animated series in Lego in this game. And then, initially, I think all of the playable characters so far have a costume based on them from Batman the Animated Series, or another show from the same continuity. Like, I know at least all of them have a costume based on the continuity through stuff like the Batman Beyond pack, because that show's part of the animated series continuity. But, yeah. That's my theory, that it's just more Arkham Rocksteady-inspired stuff for Harley. But yeah, pretty much, the animated series intro was also recreated in the game. Honestly, the game was rushed, but on the bright side, other than a lot of problems I've pointed out and that others have pointed out, another problem with this game, with being like the 7 playable characters and such, we are rumored to get 2 more playable characters in Mayhem Mode, other than Joker and Harley, so that's something to look forward to. And if I had to choose a voice actress for Harley Quinn in Mayhem Mode, I'm still leaning towards Tara Strong.